Con 50.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna loosen my straps a little bit, so I'll be able to catch this right here. And why I use these straps is because the strap is adjustable, so I can get it to where I want it to go. Right here, I'll show you. I can get my straps to where I wanted to go, and I'll leave this up here a little bit off my car so it doesn't drop and damage my car. Just need to get a few grip on here, just enough that it doesn't move. And once I get that, I'm okay. Came out of this one right here, and I gently put this here. I don't want to put too much force on it. I had it up here, but I don't want to break this. I don't want to break nothing here, because this is where your water pump is at. This is where your camshaft is at, your front camshaft and your back camshaft. This is where your timing belt and everything is at. I know you can get this whole piece here, but it wouldn't make any difference because the one on my old one is all bad. I took all the water pump out of it and the timing belt and everything, so you know, and that was one of the reasons why I had to change this engine, because after I got the blown head gasket, it would not start. First it started to overheat, and I went in, and luckily when I went in here and changed the water pump, I followed the proper procedures. I changed the water pump on the timing belt, but what I did, I mark it, and I make sure my camshaft didn't spin, didn't move. So before I even attempted to take anything out, I got a whole bunch of cardboard wedges, and I wedged my camshaft that they didn't move. So when I released the tension down there, the belt would release, and I start to take my belt from the bottom and work my way up to my two camshaft. And once I got this camshaft, the timing belt off this camshaft, I wedged it again, and I did the same thing for the back one. I took the belt off and I wedged it, and once I did that, I could get to my water pump, because you know, my water pump pulley and everything is all slacking up and loosened, and I got my belt out and got my water pump out, and I changed my water pump, and I changed my timing belt, and I put it back the same way, and my camshaft did not move, and I start the car up. But like I said, it started up and it ran for a couple of days, but it was still overheating. So you know, and I tried everything. I changed the radiator, I changed the thermostat, I changed a couple of hoses, put new hose in, hose on it, hose in, thermostat hose in and all of that, and you know, I changed out my spark plugs and my coils and everything, and still was overheating. I changed my O2 sensors and all of that, and it still was overheating. So I was like, you know, all this money that I'm spending, it's easier for me to just go get me an engine. So here we are, guys. Here we are. All right, let's see what we got. a little progress. I want it to come this way now. But I'm not gonna pick up there. I want to pick everything up. Like that, guys. Maybe a little bit more because my engine has to come up that it can clear the back and get into here, so I can put that that one on. If I can catch this part right here, that would have been great. See if I can lift it up a little bit more. My cherry picker been giving me a little bit of headache, guys, because like I told you, it's been leaking hydraulic fluid so bad, and it's been giving me a little bit of problem, and I have to keep on putting hydraulic fluid in it all the time. You know, this is where my engine mount is supposed to be, but and that's why, because my my strap should have been here and not here, so I'm gonna have to release my engine now, and I'm gonna put it back underneath there, so when I release it, it's not too much on the ground, so I can swing that around a little bit. Because, let me try it this way. Here we go. Just gotta bring it down a little bit. You're working by yourself. That's how you gotta work, guys. You gotta be patient when you're doing these things. Just a little bit more. Like I said, I just want to catch one bolt. Once I catch one bolt, I can bring it back that way. I'm good. So now I'm going to release this so I can do the engine mount. Seems like it run out of hydraulic fluid again, and that was my biggest fear, that it would run out of hydraulic fluid at this time. Now that I'm close to getting this thing where it needs to be. Okay. This thing has to be way up in the ear, guys. It has to be way up, so my my transaxle can go up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see if I can jack my car down, let my car down a little bit, and then maybe this will give it some way. I want to get my transaction out of the way so when my car is going down it doesn't fall on it. Because that would be another big problem right here, guys. I'm going to leave it right there for right now. I'm going to bring my car down a little bit. Alright guys, so now that I brought my car down, I have more than enough space to work now. And this looks like it's almost on the right level to hook this up. So I'm going to drop this because man, I think I run out of hydraulic in here, so now I have to refill this thing. So I'm going to have to drop this. What I'm gonna go do, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this engine mount and back on here, and so I can catch that side. Okay. But, you see how dirty it is, guys, so I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit before I put it back on here. Alright guys, now you can see I have it nice and clean and ready to go. And this is the little thing I was telling you about, guys. You have them big one, small one, different sizes. Because this little one right here gets into this ear right here and it pops this little piece of plastic right out, because this is where the harness is going to go back in. This little spot. And one of the things I was paying most attention to was my camshaft sensor. I didn't want to break my camshaft sensor because somebody looked like they changed it, and it looks kind of brand new to me compared to my old one. I'm not worried worried about those little pieces, guys, because I got a whole bunch of them that I got from AutoZone. I got this pack for $32. It comes with 400 ties, 18, 30, 75, different sizes. 4 batches of different sizes, so I have more than enough zip ties to get the job done. And this is my 85 piece car AC compressor seal kit. I'm gonna change out all my seals in my compressor, and I'm gonna change all of these washers and all that stuff, and make sure everything is all nice and neat inside here. And even though I don't need the AC right now, but I like my compressor to be running fine because it's also gonna control my heater during the winter time. So when I put this first engine mount on it, it will tell me where I stand. And these are 10 millimeter, which is it's a 16 millimeter socket wrench. And as you can see, this is the one that came with the engine that fell down. This is the one that came with this engine that fell down, and I found it luckily in time. And as you can see, these are 3 different screws, guys. Well, 2 different screws, because 2 is the same and 1 is different, and the two long ones goes to the end and the short one goes into the middle. So it goes like this, where the short one goes in the middle. The 2 long one goes to the end, like that. And this is the time now where I grab my power tools, guys. This is the time where I grab my power tools. And as you can see, it uses a 5/8 socket. You see, it uses a 5/8 socket, and I think it's also a 16 millimeter. I'm going to grab my 16 millimeter and put it on it and show you. It's a 16 millimeter. 16 millimeter wrench, or you can use a 5/8 socket, or a 16 socket. All right. So I'm gonna go grab my power tool and I'm gonna start putting these down, guys. Alright, guys, as you can see, I grabbed my hand tool, and I keep leaving my batteries off and forget to put them back on charge. Alright, guys, as you can see, I grab my gloves, because from here on out it's gonna be a little bit more heavy duty work, and the engine is going to be swinging back and forth, and you don't want to be doing that without gloves. When this thing like swing back and forth and catches your finger and stuff like that, at least the gloves will take some of the pressure on, because I see it happen where the engine is swinging on cherry picker and it swing back and hit my hand, and I have to push it back in order to get my finger out. But luckily I had on gloves, not these type of gloves, but the heavy duty working gloves, so it didn't affect my finger. I felt it a few days after, and I grabbed my power tool. I grabbed the longer 5/8. It's still a 5/8, but it's the longer one. And I'm going to tighten these all the way up because they also have a torque spec, and I think the torque spec is 75 to 80 foot-pounds for all three of them. So I just tighten these up enough so I can have enough pressure to hold my engine up on here. And like I said, this is just one part because I still have to put another part on here, which is this part right here. Right, this part is gonna go here, and this part is gonna go up on here. That's how high I have to bring my engine up, and that's why I drop the car down. So now that I drop the car down, I have a little bit more leverage, because if the car was up, then I would have to jack this engine way up to get it back on here. So before you even want to attempt to even try to put your engine and your transmission back, you want to make sure that you put your engine mounts and your transmission mount back together. On the passenger side, the right passenger side, you find your engine mount. On the driver side, you find the transmission mount. And then in the back, you find one, the main one that holds both your engine and your transmission together. So there's three of them, and then there's one of the front. There's another front one that's gonna go underneath that it also support your the engine and your transmission. So there are four of them. The two top one is not so bad, and the bottom one is not so bad. It's that one in the back. That's the pain in the ass to get to. But you want to make sure all of these are back together and lined up. And like I said, I'm not really gonna make my parts brand new, but you know, I just want to clean them up so they kind of look a little bit decent. So I'm gonna go clean this one up, guys. I'm gonna go clean this one up, and then I'll come back. All right, like I said, it's not gonna be brand new, but if I clean them up, then it'll look a little bit decent and presentable on my engine. Alright guys, you can see, clean it up a little bit so it kind of look a little bit presentable. And I'm trying to remember which way this thing goes, because it has a special way. You can just, even though it look like this, there's a certain way that you have to put it on, and I think that's the right way, because this is the wrong way. If you put it like this, it's gonna hang over here, and I don't think that's the right way, because if you put it like this, it will work, but it's gonna hang over, and now there's gonna be strain on this thing right here. So, and the main purpose of this thing is to hold up your engine, so you don't want to put it that is hanging over that way and putting the pressure down when you press on your accelerate or you press on your brake. And then the screws for these are also 10 millimeter or 5/8. So you use a 16 millimeter socket for these, or you can use your 5/8. See, 5/8 is the same thing. These, how long these are? These are like two inches. These are like 2 inches, guys. Before I do that, sometimes I like to spray them up a little bit. Normally I use diesel fuel and just kind of get the rust off a little bit off them, because over a period of time, guys, they'll come back to bite you in the ass. So you kind of just, you know, take the wire brush and just kind of get a little bit of rust off them a little bit. I normally like to use the diesel fuel, because the diesel fuel cuts the rust faster. Let me show you. So normally what I do, guys, I just put a little bit of diesel fuel inside a container like that, and I'll soak these things overnight. I'll just, you know, soak these things overnight. But because I didn't soak them overnight, because there were other things that was plaguing my mind, and when you're in your bed and you're not sleeping but you're just laying down, and you know that the next day you have a task ahead of you, there are all sort of different thought that comes in, ideas and thought that comes in your mind. And I'm not gonna get it 100%, but you know, like I said, I just dip it in a little bit of diesel fuel, and you know, the diesel fuel will kind of help the rust, because right now I don't have any rust cutter. You can get it at on AutoZone or Advanced Auto. It's the rust shredder. You put it on here, on it, all the way up, and it will prevent your bowls from getting rust. But diesel fuel will work just fine, guys. Trust me, believe me, it worked just fine. Yeah. All right, you see how long these are? 2 inches, guys, and I've dropped it in, and it went almost half the way down in here already. Sometimes if you can get these things done by hand, it will help a lot. And that's why I said I love diesel fuel, man, because see how easy this thing goes down, all the way down by hand, because I use the diesel fuel, and the diesel fuel will cut all that rust. And you just use your wire brush, guys, and just, you know, clean it up a little bit, you know, clean it up a little bit, so you know, it goes down easy. And I like when my bowls goes all the way down by hand. And like I said, I'm not going to really tighten these too much because they have their torque spec, and I want to torque them to the proper torque spec. Alright, I don't want to over torque them because this is rubber. This part right here is rubber. This is aluminum, but this is rubber. You don't want to torque them. So this already took 3 screws, and this took 2 screws, and I still have 2 more screws to go up on here. But it don't really matter me right now, because I can sit this on here without have to put the screws. But I would like to find the screws, and I think I kept them screws up here. And you know, surprisingly, these are the little screws. These are 1-inch screws. I think they're 6mm or M6. They're 6mm or M6, and they're little short 1-inch screws. But they're the 2 top ones are holes. Just hold this engine mount onto here. These little short ones here, guys. So, and I try not to lose these. I mean, I have a whole bunch of these, but I try not to lose them. And you have the M6 and you have the M8, so you got to be careful which one. I mean, the M8 will goes down in it, but you know, it's a little bit longer. It's about 1 inch, you know, maybe around 14 inches, 15 inches, so it's like maybe about 2-3 inches longer than this one. So, yeah, they're all different, but I put all of them up here because I remember exactly where they go. You know, I put my bolts and my nuts and my screws, everything over on here for the left side. For the right side, I put all those ones over there for the right side, the left side, driver side, and you know, the ones for the front, I'll put them back up that way, so everything, you know, it's not in one whole bunch of confusing state. And this was one of my bolts that I got from over here, but now that I don't really need it, I'm going to put it away, and so I'll need it next time, because believe you me, that bolt is going to come in handy by the end of this putting this engine box together, guys. By the end of this journey, I'm guarantee you're probably going to need that bolt.